Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about my exercise journey and the different gyms and classes and subscription services that I have tried out. So first I just wanted to give a little background about when I started working out and that kind of thing. So when I was pregnant with Sebastian, I didn't really work out, but the only thing I did do consistently was yoga, and then I went on a lot of walks. So that was pretty much it for working out. I hadn't ever really lifted weights or anything like that, so I didn't do any of that while I was pregnant. So it wasn't until maybe 6 months after I had him that I wanted to actually start working out really for the first time in my life. Now I did swim all through growing up, middle school, high school, that kind of thing, but I wasn't like an elite swimmer or anything like that, so I hadn't ever really like lifted a lot of weights or anything like that. So lifting weights was pretty new to me. The first type of weight I really used was a kettlebell, and I mostly did a lot of body weight workouts and, like I said, using the kettlebell, and that was about it. There was also a lot of yoga, but that was pretty much all I did. I didn't really have a lot of equipment, and I wasn't really focusing on that. I just started with 5 minutes a day, and then I worked up to 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, really just depending on how much time I had, but I really just focused on making it a habit. And so that was, like I said, kind of the first time it actually started working out, and I really, really enjoyed it. I actually discovered that I love working out, that I feel so much better. It helps my mind so much. It helps my body feel better, my mind feel better. So that's really why I started working out, was all of those benefits. So then I started kind of thinking about possibly joining a gym or going to some kind of classes. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So the first thing that I actually did was to go to a barre class. I went to Pure Barre, and there is one about 15 minutes from my house, and they had a 5:30 a.m. class, so it was something I could actually do before going to work, and that was my very first time waking up that early to work out. So if I did work out in the morning, it was maybe at 6, that kind of thing, before I left for work, but this was a lot earlier than I had ever gotten to work out. So they had one free class that you could go to try it out. So that was the first class that I had ever been to. I had never been to another one. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. I love barre. I love barre workouts. That class was so much fun. It's actually the only barre class I've ever been to in person. And the reason why I didn't keep going was because it was very expensive. And it was about $60 for a month, but you only got to go to 4 classes. So to me, it really was not worth it for $60 for only 4 classes. It wasn't even unlimited classes. So I didn't feel like that was something that I could afford at the time, and I didn't feel like that was enough classes in a month for me to spend that much. So I never went back to a barre class again. But again, I found out I really, really like barre classes and barre workouts. So after that, I started looking around at gyms and thinking about a gym I wanted to join, and where I landed was joining the YMCA. So the reason I joined the YMCA was, one, because they had group classes, so they had something called Body Pump that I had never heard of before, and it was a group class. It was in the morning, so I could go before work. They also had spin class in the morning It's a 520 class for the body pump or spin, so something I could do before work. They had a pool, so I really liked all the features. They also had machines, so just in case I wasn't going to a class, I could just work out on the machines or any of the free weights or anything like that, treadmill, elliptical, all of that. So they had everything. So that's why I wanted to join the Y, and it was $42 a month. So to me, for all of those features and to be able to go an unlimited amount of time in a month, that was more my price point, and that was more the features that I wanted for that price point. I had also looked at Gold's Gym, and that was super expensive. Not only that, I didn't really vibe with the personnel there, and I actually had like a meeting with them, and they were gonna get me some free classes to try out before I joined, but because I didn't want to pay like a whole month's worth, I couldn't try them, but they said I could try them. It was really, really weird, and then they kept calling me and trying to get me to join, and that was just a huge turnoff, and I don't like being called a lot. I had already made up my mind. I told them that they were really rude, and I did not want to join their gym. And so that was just a really bad experience. But when I went to the Y, it was way better. I really liked the personnel. I really liked the vibe there. There's, a lot of families that go there. I really like that. And I felt really safe, especially since I was going at 5:20 in the morning. I felt like it was a really safe place to be. So that was really, really important to me since I was going there by myself and it was dark because it was so early in the morning. So that is where I really fell in love with lifting weights, with barbell. I had never even known what a barbell was until I went to that class. And when I first started, I barely had any weights on my bar. I barely knew what I was doing, but I really, really loved the teachers, how they explained everything. I really liked the community of the 5:20 a.m. class. It was mostly a lot of the same, usually women that went to the class, and it was really, really awesome. So I actually ended up doing that for almost a year. I went really, really consistently, 2 or 3 times a week to the 5:20 class, and then occasionally I'd make it to a weekend class. And so I went really consistently from February to January. So in January, my last class was actually the day before I was induced with Scarlett. So that was my last bar class. Was 9 months pregnant, 2 days before my due date, and the 1 day before my induction. So I was still lifting weights. I was definitely having to go a lot slower, having to use a lot lighter weights and doing some modifications so that I wasn't on my belly or anything, but I felt really safe doing it. And I felt really strong, and I just really enjoyed that experience. So after I gave birth and after I recovered, I did plan on going back, and I did go back a couple of times, and then of course the pandemic hit, so it was closed. So that was the last that I went to in-person classes. So during the pandemic, I have tried out a few different subscription services and at-home workouts. So I am someone that really likes the group class atmosphere. I like someone telling me what exercises to do. I just have a lot more fun. Even if I'm not actually in person, I have a lot more fun with some sort of interaction, like I said, by listening to the coach or the instructor, telling me what to do, what exercises to do, and thinking about it for me. So, since I always have so much on my mind, it's really hard for me to have to add one more thing that I need to think about. So, that's why I like having a program or having classes that I can follow. So, what I first started trying out was just free videos on YouTube, and usually I would do Pop Sugar videos, and I really do love them. They are really great. There's so many choices, and I really enjoyed them. A lot of them are body weight, so they're really easy to do. There's dance cardio, there are videos with weights, with dumbbells, yoga, Tabata, HIIT, all of that. So I really like those. But the problem for me is that there are so many choices that I get stuck scrolling through trying to decide what I want to do today. And that's kind of an ongoing issue with me, is when I have a lot of choices, it's really hard for me to pick. So just having hundreds of videos come up on Pop Sugar and then I have to pick every day, it's really overwhelming to me. So after I did those for several months, I decided I wanted to actually get a program, to subscribe to a program and do that. So the first program that I got was the Les Mills app. And the reason I did that is because they have Body Pump, which really, Body Pump is still my number one. It's still my favorite. So I had the Les Mills subscription for a year. So for a whole year, it's $119. So to me, that was definitely worth it to have unlimited videos and access for an entire year. So, and then the price of that plus buying the equipment to do it at home was still less than a year at the Y. So that's why it was worth it to me. So I do really love the Les Mills subscription service, but the problem is that on the Body Pump, they're actually geared to be a whole hour. So if you go in person, the class is like 50 or 55 minutes. So that's the norm. So on the app, they have those 50, 55-minute classes, and then they also have 20-minute versions or 30-minute versions, which is more my time frame that I actually have to do a workout, is more like 20, maybe 30 minutes. I usually don't have a whole hour to dedicate to a workout. So that was kind of the reason why I didn't like it as much, is because it was geared towards those 50, 55-minute workouts, and then the 20 and 30-minute videos, they weren't complete workouts. So they had just taken 20 minutes or 30 minutes from a 50 to 55-minute workout and then called it a 30-minute workout. So it felt very incomplete. It felt like I wasn't really hitting all the body parts I wanted to hit, and it just didn't flow as much. So I always felt like I just wasn't getting the complete workout because I was not doing a full Body Pump class. So it felt like I was lacking. So that's really what I didn't like about that. I did love the bar classes. I did love the body combat classes. I did really like a lot of them. But the other issue is that there's not that large of a selection. I don't know if the app is maybe new, but like all the videos that they shot them in a large group setting. So I don't know if maybe because the pandemic hit, they weren't able to put out new content that maybe they had planned to put out, but there just wasn't enough of a selection for me to keep doing the same ones over and over and over. So because of those two reasons, I decided not to renew after the 1 year. So then the next subscription service I tried was Beachbody. I mean, I see all over on social media, people doing Beachbody. They really like it. They have programs, which seemed like a really good idea to me. Oh, I can just select a program and I don't have to pick a workout. It's already picked for me. I just have to do the next one in the sequence. So that really sounded good to me, and like one less thing that I had to think about or to decide. So I started doing that. I think I started doing the 30-day fix or 20-day fix. I don't really know. I think I made it through 4 or 5 workouts on Beachbody before I canceled it. And they do have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so I got a full refund. That year subscription, I think, is $90 or $99, somewhere around there. And I ended up canceling, and I got a full refund because I was within the 30 days. I could not stand Beachbody at all. I couldn't stand the video. The workouts themselves were fine, but I didn't like the instructors. I didn't like what they were saying. I didn't like the encouragement that they were giving. I did not vibe with them whatsoever. I did not like it. I wanted to try to force myself to get through a program and then decide, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and on top of that, to me, a lot of the coaches are really pushy, whether on social media or, to get them to join their team and that kind of thing, and that's just not where I want to be, and I don't want to have an accountability group or anything like I don't want to have an email chain going about workouts and that kind of, that's just really not for me. To me, that's just one more thing to do, and it gives me a lot of anxiety. So that does not help me and my mental health and what I'm trying to get out of working out. So it just doesn't help me. So I didn't vibe with it. I didn't keep it. So the next and last subscription service that I got, which I am still using, is Tone It Up. So Tone It Up, I did the year subscription on that. I don't know how many months I'm in, but it's $88 for the whole year, so I really liked that price point. That was the cheapest year subscription that I had found so far. And I really like all the instructors. I like their encouragement. I like how they talk to you. I like how they're encouraging without pushing too hard. And I like that, the founders, I think both of them, that like they're moms too, and I just really like the vibe of the videos and the instructors and the type of workouts. They have a really large selection. They have bar workouts, they have HIIT workouts, they have a lot of yoga, of meditation, so I really like the selection. And then I also like that they do have those programs that you can pick from, and that again is really helpful to me, so I don't have to think about which workout I'm going to do every day, because I end up wasting a lot of time trying to pick a workout. And sometimes I still do if I'm not sticking to the program, or if maybe I don't have time for the particular workout I'm supposed to do on that day. So I still struggle with that a little bit, but I do like the option of having a program that you can stick to, or I like that they have a selection specifically of 20-minute workouts and of 10-minute workouts, because sometimes that's all that I have time to do. So that is the one that I'm using right now. I would say that one is my favorite that I want to keep doing because of the selection, and because right now, since I am on a bit of a time crunch most days, it's really helpful to me not have to have a whole setup with the barbell and putting the weights on and putting it away and all of that. So it is a lot easier for me to just do body weight or to just do dumbbells. And then on top of that, not only do I work out at home, but I also work out when I go to the office for work. So I actually got a second set of the 2-pound and the 5-pound dumbbells to leave at the office, and then I also leave a yoga mat there so that I can work out there. And then if I know I'm going to use booty bands, then I'll take those with me. But that has made it a lot easier for me to actually work out more, because I have an option to do it at the office, and obviously it's not like I could take a dumbbell, or I'm sorry, it's not like I could take a barbell back and forth. So that makes it a lot more accessible to me, is using less equipment, sometimes no equipment. So that's been really helpful, and I can just take my iPad back and forth so that I can actually watch the video, and that's made it super easy. So that is what I'm doing right now. I wish I could say that I'm working out every day, but right now I'm not. I have gone through periods where I am working out every day, and right now I'm kind of in a period where I'm only working out maybe once or twice a week, just because I have things going on and I start doing something else, or I just find an excuse to skip it. And I really have better days when I am working out, so I'm kind of recommitting myself to working out more often, to making myself a priority, and to setting myself up for success, and to get those workouts in so that I do have a better day to day and I am taking care of myself. So that is my recommitment, and it's really hard, even when you know that it's so important, and even when you know it's so important for your body to be healthy, for your mind to be healthy, and this is something that helps both. It's still really difficult to get it done because it is one more thing on the to-do list, and instead of working out, I could be folding laundry, or I could be doing dishes, or I could be doing more work, or I could be cooking dinner, or whatever it is. I could find 1,000,001 reasons not to do that for myself, but I know I have to make a conscious effort to put everything aside and to do this for myself and to get that workout in. So I did work out yesterday. I am super sore today, and I am loving it. So I love feeling the burn. I love feeling that I worked out hard, and so then I do take it easy. Once I get sore, I take it easy and try to stretch a lot and still keep moving my body. So that is what I'm doing right now. That is where I am in my workout journey. It is never ending, and it's really hard to stay on the wagon, but I encourage you to find whatever kind of workouts you like, whether it's at home workouts, whether it's an in-person class, whether it's walking or running. I encourage you to try out some different things and figure out what works for you, what works for your time schedule, what works for your budget, what works for what equipment you have or what can you get, and that kind of thing. And I think you'd be surprised what you end up liking. So let me know in the comments what kind of workouts you like to do, or any questions that you might have. I'd love to answer them. If you could please like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Tune in next Friday for another video, and if you want to go see my Instagram, it is at Admire Yourself Today, and check it out. Thanks. Bye.